This video is going to be an in-depth look on the context and zeitgeist surrounding Kanye's 808's and Heartbreaks. The album recently turned 10 years old and has been one of the few albums to be hated in the time it was released and appreciated much later on as a giant leap for the rap genre. The album follows Kanye being 50 Cent in a 2007 sales battle where Graduation outsold Curtis about 3 to 1 in the first week. The following year, Alexis Pfeiffer, Kanye's fiancée, left him, and the death of his mother, Donda, caused a massive distress for Kanye, and he used a new album for therapy. He scrapped the planned album Good Ass Job in favor of using a new direction. The recent defeat that soon caused the death of rap's bling era primed the genre for a slow and steady shift that followed and grew yearly until we got where we are today. The rest of the video will be going through each song of the album and dissecting them. Say You Will. The opening track from this album, or one of the few times I've been disappointed in an opening track from Kanye. While it clearly shows the extreme shift from his previous album to the new sound unique to this one, it's only an okay song. However, it doesn't do enough, I feel, to catch anyone other than a hardcore Kanye fan when the album came out. That would cause the average listener or fan to stay tuned. However, the sheer change from what would be usual at the time may be enough of a shock to one system to cause interest. Welcome to Heartbreak. While a matter of opinion, this would have been a far better opener for the album. I understand that for an album so different than anything going on at the time, a track to start on would have been hard to pick no matter what. With that said, this song features all what makes this album great. The production is amazing, and while the auto-tune is used heavily, it gives somewhat of a break during Cuddy's chorus, where it is toned down, opposed to a song like Say You Will, where it isn't off or lowered at all. Heartless, the first song on the album to become a major hit. The song is the closest, I believe, on the album to a standard rap song, just with the addition of autotune. Kanye fan or not, you have heard the song, and chances are you probably liked it. The depression and the confusion Kanye gives off is so humanizing, which is interesting coming off an album like Graduation, where it was an emphatic party songs, and now he's mostly singing about staying up at night, wanting to move on, but feeling like his happiness was stolen from him. Amazing. Personally, I love Kanye's verse in the song. I find it chilling. Everyone talks about his arrogance. Autotune in this song mixes to give a very downbeat and somber tone which blends with that ego, where he wanted to be that amazing pop culture phenomenon that swept the nation in 4 short years. He can't at the moment. As for the verse by Jeezy, it's overall a very nice touch to the song and sounds nice, very rough and beaten. However, one fucking line in this song always makes me cringe. Standing at my podium, trying to watch my sodium. Something about that line just makes me want to tear off my skin. Love Lockdown. The lead single on the album was very disliked when it was released to the public. On top of that, Kanye doubled down, saying most of the album would be sung in autotune. There's collective sigh among most fans. The one thing I find very interesting about this song, I feel it has a similar production to a song you find on Yeezus. The loud, powerful drum beats you hear throughout the entire song is just about all you'll hear. While if they're simply more aggressive, I would see them as something you'd probably find on the much louder, more industrial album of his. As a side note, the song did sell very well digitally. However, with that said, it may have been more curiosity about the growing ability to download music online that caused it to sell so well, as most articles I found from the time seemed very negative. Paranoid and Robocop. These two songs are grouped together because I see them as low points on the album. Paranoid I feel is better than Robocop due to the lyrics and the relatable factor of a relationship causing mental stress. Also, I personally prefer the beat and the tempo of the song, whereas Robocop is almost of no substance to me. It doesn't seem to fit. Nothing about it adds to the album that I can see. The song is a second and third point in the album where I just wince. The chorus is so stupid because you're moving like a Robocop when you become a Robocop. Everything there is it's just so stupid. It doesn't sound good. Also, the ending where he turns off the autotune and does that almost skit-like conversation and does that stupid fake laugh, like, haha, that was a good one, your first good one in a while. It's just, I get what he's saying and I get why it's there, but I hate it. Streetlights. If one song can capture this album, it's Streetlights. It's so simple and calming. The light beat in the background combined with repeating chorus is something so simple, and the idea of having your end goal set but so far from where you really are, it just comes across so humanizing and lovely. The ending of Life's Just Not Fair is always a knife to my heart, every time. Bad News. This song to me is just another sad song in a sea of sad songs. Try saying that 10 times fast. I have a really love-hate relationship with this song, because it is on its own an amazing song and very beautiful. However, following Streetlights, it's just a dumbed down version of that song. Streetlights to me is the peak of what this album could have accomplished, and it accomplished it on that song. This one, I understand they all have different meanings, and I understand they have different points, and I understand this one is using a pretty good sample. The fact is, it just isn't as powerful as Streetlights, and that's most likely on me for not being able to separate the two. As and it's not the song's fault; it follows Streetlights. I'd probably say that about any song following it on this album, but at the same time, everything that makes Streetlights so good is on this song. But for me, it only adds up to be about half as good. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but that's the best way I can describe it. See you in my nightmares. And Jesus Christ, anyone who's heard this album, I will be shocked if you like this song. This and Drunken Hot Girls are gonna go down as stains on Kanye's really, really good discography. The part of Wayne's verse, you think your shit don't stink, but you're Mrs. PU. It makes me just. This album has a few points where I wince more than I should having to listen to one of my favorite artists. The beat is nice, the production's good, but that's about all. No amount of autotune can save this song from Kanye or Wayne's singing voice, which are both so awful here. On top of that, the placement of the song doesn't even fucking work. Streetlights, Bad News, Coldest Winter are the saddest songs and most somber on the album. This album would be improved taking this off to let Bad News flow into Coldest Winter better. Fuck this song! Coldest Winter, an ode to his mother, the song ends on the chorus again and again asking if he'll ever love again. Personally, I take it to not even being about romantic love, but the love he recently lost in his mother. The idea that he'll never have a true friendship or someone to trust or genuinely support him. And then we'll get back to this later in Pinocchio Story. The song is really good, and I'm sorry to brush over it, but again, it's just another song that's sad in a sea of sad songs. And while this is one of my favorite on the albums, it doesn't bring that much to the table, other than a really good sample and really nice beats. The lyric, "Your love's 1,000 miles away," I do find really touching though, and really pretty. Overall, a very good song, probably my third favorite on the album. Pinocchio Story. The song is fucking epic. Using the Singapore version, as that's just what you'll most commonly find, my absolute favorite lines are, "I turn on the TV and see me and see nothing," or, "For everyone who sees you crying, say you ought to laugh." They come from such a fucking dark place. On top of that, the fact is only performed live, which me and a lot of other fans I've heard have huge issues with. But after I did some researching for this video, I found a few theories on as to why, and I really enjoy this one. Here, Kanye is singing his heart out about how he no longer feels loved or feels human, but here he is having thousands of people scream his name, screaming how much they love him, but he doesn't feel they can connect to him as anything more than an icon. He's not a person anymore. He's had two large disasters in such a short time, and no matter how many fans he has, no matter how much money he buys, he can't distract himself with materialism. There's no more Gucci to buy. There's no more Louis Vuitton to put on. This song is just an album of This song cements the album's depression. I think it's fucking beautiful. And I love the fact now that's only performed live because it just echoes that point. The fact that no matter what he does, no matter how many fans he has, nothing will make him better because he's too broken. It's beautiful. Okay, guys, so overall, this album ranks pretty middle of the pack of my road for Kanye. With that said, it's truly amazing how the album is received to be one of the worst and is now becoming more and more the sound with someone like Juice WRLD calling Kanye a time traveler making this album, or someone like Travis Scott saying it's his favorite Kanye album, or how the largest performer in the world at the moment, Drake, has cited this as his biggest influence. The guy sampled Say You Will. This album has aged so freaking well, it's astonishing. And with that said, I don't think it's better than Life of Pablo. I don't think it's better than College Dropout. But I would say, and with even though my Kanye albums change about every day, which one's my favorite, the fact is, I think this one is timeless because I think it's only getting better as it gets older, and it's just such a fucking good album. And if anyone's ever gone through a breakup or anything like that, and you are a Kanye fan, I'm sure you heard this album, and cried at a few points. I think any song on here can speak to at least one person, even if they don't like the entire thing auto-tuned, the entire thing being sad, lonely songs. But personally, that's more the music I enjoy. And I gotta say, overall, I can't see this album getting worse as years go on. Graduation, despite how good it is, sounds dated. It sounds like the time it was written. However, this album, it just keeps getting more and more modern as it gets older, and I find that astonishing. So, this is my second video on the channel. I actually wrote a script this time, so let's hope I can edit this shit together pretty well. I hope you guys have a nice day.